DeMaria. My book's The DH by John Feinstein, and DH is like a designated. It stands for designated hitter in baseball, and it's someone who doesn't play in the field or pitching at the time. They just are in the batting order. This is a kind of like a fictional sports book, and it's about a freshman in high school who is a pitcher, and he makes the varsity team, and he kind of has to like learn because he hasn't like played this kind of high competition, and he kind of has a mentor as a junior. He has a junior mentor who's kind of like teaching him how to throw specific pitches to help strike more people out. He's taught how to throw a slider, and he's taught how to throw a two-seam to try to like trick the batter, and how to make sure his form when he's throwing is so that the batter can't detect when he's throwing a different pitch. And so there's one passage from his coach about how he should be working the batters, and he said, his coach says, you know the old cliche, the best pitch in baseball is strike one. It means don't fall behind the hitters. I'm not telling you to just groove your first pitch to each batter, but until they prove they can hit your fastball, throw it to a corner as best you can and get ahead in the count. If you do that, you'll be fine. This is saying like until you're out of options, don't try to throw it down the middle. Try to make the pitcher chase something, hit something they don't want to. And so I think that's like something that's very good for a pitcher to know, and how they should be approaching each batter. And so over the course of the book, it goes through his season as a freshman, and then towards the middle of the book, there's a huge controversy. His junior men suspended for the rest of the year, and so the second half of the book is kind of how Alex, the freshman, is overcoming not having his mentor, and how he's stepping up into his place, because now he stepped up into the starting role because they have two starting pitchers because they play 2 games a week. So never play in the field or pitch at all, and so as a designated hitter, he batted in every game, and he was a phenomenal batter. He was leading the league in home runs even though he missed like almost half the season. So and he was doing so much better than everyone else. He batted 4th, which is the cleanup spot in the order, and he helped. He was more of a leader on the team, and so at the end of the season they had a double. Well, I won't give anything away there, but it was kind of, he came back, and it was kind of how Alex was. He kept pitching, and he was able to lead them through the end of their season. And then there's another controversy. There's a different team who was way ahead in the division. They'd beaten this team twice, and their 2 best players, who are twin brothers, they were caught. They signed with an agent, which is illegal in high school baseball, and so, or any high school sport. And they were taking gifts from him, and because they were being prepared to enter the MLB draft after their season, and so their team had to forfeit all their wins, and so towards the end of the book, it's about how they have to win their final 3 games, and their last game is against the team that Matt threw at the kid's head because the game had got suspended, and so it was about the last couple chapters of the book was about the final game and how they had to play, and they were like, the fans were, because it was a away game, so the fans were like all rioting, and they were getting really mad at Matt, even though he couldn't play in the game. He sat on the bench, and it was just a very interesting end of the book. Ian?
Was Matt like a kind of a bad kid in a sense?
No, he wasn't like a bad kid, but like his father was he wasn't like very good to him. He was mean, and he was kind of like his father coached him for football, and so his father thought he was all that, and his father was like, he would go to all means to like make sure his son was like protected, and so like he covered up for his son cheating with steroids, and so his father was like, he wasn't much of a father figure. He was more of a coach to his son, and so that's kind of how that worked.
All right, one more.
All right, Dan.
So in the actual like high school baseball, do they use designated hitter, or is pitcher just bad? Because I know depending on the Major League Baseball, that depends on which league you're in.
Right. All right. So in high school baseball, I think it could depend on the team if they want to have a DH for their pitcher or not. But in this book, he was I don't know who he was hitting designated for, but before he was suspended after hitting the guy in the head, it was saying that you had to be in the field, playing in the field to be able to bat. So that's what it said prior to the incident.
Okay. Good.